Y'all, today I am sharing the 3 biggest takeaways I had in my phone call with Meta last Friday. Want to hear about them? Let's dive in. Hey, y'all, and welcome to the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hayes Smith. If you have found yourself going down a scroll hole of Pinterest, Google, and YouTube looking for great ways to market your travel business, but you've found nothing but frustration there, you've landed in the right place. As a travel agent, what I loved most was marketing my business, and I succeeded in it. That's why I became a marketing expert for the travel industry. And now I spend my days teaching travel agents and agency owners how to market their business on social media and beyond. So if you're ready to grow your business using social media and other marketing tactics, buckle up and let's take off. Did y'all know there's a planner out there that is made just for you, the travel agent? The Happiest Things Collective has created their planner for magical travel agents, and it is amazing. And why wouldn't it be? She's a travel agent herself. This thing has a place to keep track of your clients that are traveling. It has a place to keep track of quotes, who has final balance due. I mean, all the things that you need to create a smooth client experience and keep those clients happy so they become loyal clients. That's right. We're getting them into the loyalty phase, right? This comes in a physical and a digital version, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And for even more magic, you can sign up for their monthly subscription. This also comes in physical and digital versions, and you'll get amazing stickers and goodies every single month that are going to help you grow your travel business. And starting right now, I am partnering with the Happiest Things Collective to bring a monthly social media challenge to everyone inside their subscription. So go to happiestthingstravel.com, get on their subscription, get your planner, and make sure to use code KELLY15, KELLI 15 for 15% off your purchase. Y'all, sorry I missed you last week. I actually intended to record a podcast on Monday night when I landed in Orlando, and there was some travel nightmare things that happened. And when I got to my room, I was exhausted and frustrated, and recording a podcast was not possible. And this one's late. I know y'all are going to be ready to fire me, but this one's late because I stopped what I originally had recorded and am giving you something like hot off the presses. So I was asked, I don't know, maybe a month ago if I would like to have a phone call with Meta to answer questions. And I said yes. I put myself on the list. And I was teaching content creation. We were just wrapping up on Friday, and my phone rings, and it was a number from Canada. And I was like, I don't know anybody in Canada. And I declined it. And then I started reading the transcript of the voicemail and realized that was Meta, and quickly called them back, scheduled a time for later that day. And I got about 45 minutes of a phone call with Meta, answering questions, giving me tips, looking at my profile, but I also had them look at other profiles to give me information. And I have some really really great tips. And then 2 things that we got to talk about that I feel like they were pressing really hard. So some basic things that I learned, let's say that this is what we have been talking about for years, but posting consistently is their number one thing, priority. Number one piece of the puzzle is posting consistently. And she mentioned to me that they wanted 3 to 5 times a week. So first off, take a deep breath. Again, I said you don't need to post every day, and they confirm that you don't need to post every day. 3 times would be like, they would like to see that be the least. So we start with 3 times a week, and then you move up to 5 as you can. She talked about the fact that they like to see a mix of content. She did not say it needed to be X amount of reels and X amount of carousels or whatever. She said consistent posting and using all forms of content. So carousels, reels, and photos. The next big one is a hashtag tip, y'all. So she said 3 to 8 hashtags, period. No more and no less. You should be using hashtags on every post, but no more than 8. And that once you push out 8, it confuses the algorithm, and so it's actually doing you damage to post more than 8. So 3 to 8 hashtags. And we talked a lot about relevant hashtags, and before I give out that information that we talked about, I need to do a little bit more research. So I'll hold that back for a little bit longer. The next one that I thought was really interesting was the time of day. So they are seeing in their broad scheme data, they are seeing that most people are on Instagram between 12 and 5 p.m. They're seeing them no matter what time zone you're in. So if you're in Pacific, it's in Pacific time zone 12 to 5. But they are seeing that if you post between 12 and 5 p.m., that the engagement is higher. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never put a lot of stock in posting time. I've put more stock in quality of content. But it's worth a try. So there is that one. I'm going to go through my notes before I really stick in. What we have been saying is true. Engagement is really important. They told us that all engagement is created equal. So likes, comments, saves, and shares. What I believe is that saves tell me more about my content than a like does. It is going to give me a repurpose plan. It is going to tell me, what they want to remember. But as for the Instagram algorithm side, all engagement is created equal. And if you want to land on the explore page, it is all based on the engagement of that post. Everything. Hold on, I have to take a picture really quickly. Y'all, I'm going to get off topic for a second. My Roku screen is just on in the background, and Disney Cruise Line is floating by. Why do you all think they're marketing right now? That's a whole nother podcast. Ooh, there's the Hitchhiking Ghosts. Shocker. Anyway, all engagements created equal, and that is how you land on the explore page, which we had been talking about. Now, she did mention that DMs are really important and that you want to have those conversations in the DMs, but they did recommend that rather than having them DM you in the first stop, that you have them comment and then you respond to that comment and then you get them into the DMs, because that triples your engagement. And so we're going to move from saying DM me for this link or DM me the word, and we're going to have them comment instead and then take that comment to the DMs. So those were the real basic one-to-one things that I learned from this process. But there were 2 things that we spent almost all of our time talking about, and that was broadcast channels and threads. And I had just finished answering a question. Somebody had asked me about threads. And I said, we don't really have a strategy for it because we don't really have insights on it. So it's really hard to create a strategy when you aren't seeing what works in the data. And then they completely blew that out of the water. So they are really wanting you to be on threads, so much so that the more active you are on threads, it's going to help push Instagram content. I want you to think of threads as an extension or another feature of Instagram, because that's the way that it's being used. I think the algorithm is all sorts of intertwined. While hashtags right now are still currently the best way to be found on Instagram, there are no hashtags on threads. And so it is all keyword based. Now, I am not telling you to stop utilizing keywords on Instagram. However, on threads, it's really, really important. And your FYP or your For You page is dictated by those keywords. So if someone is looking at Disney things and you're using the word Disney, if somebody's looking at cruises and you're using the word cruises, that's going to help you show up. Travel tips, all of that kind of thing. So like depending on what they're looking at, and it can, whatever they go down the scroll hole on is what that's going to be. So this means that I have to do some more research and really focus in on how I would recommend that travel agents utilize Threads and how we can repurpose content we're already creating and putting it over on Threads. So that is going to be a big focus for me in February. If you are not in subscribers, get into my subscribers because I am going to be doing instead of Reels ideas for this next month, I'm going to be doing Threads ideas and like taking a post and turning it into Threads. So we're going to be doing that over there. Okay. And then the other one that they talked about over and over and over again was broadcast channels. Y'all, I have been talking about broadcast channels. I did not realize how important it was going to be until they brought it up during this call. And they want you, posting consistently. It is helping your engagement, which is so strange to me because they can't respond necessarily. They can vote in polls, but they can't necessarily respond. But it is helping your engagement to have an active broadcast channel. So they recommend at least once a week posting in broadcast channels. I think that's right. Hold on. Did I not write that down? Anyway, I know that's what it was. At least posting once a week, and having a welcome video ready to roll when people join the broadcast channel. That's another thing they mentioned. So those are some things that I have to do. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have not tested these things yet. These are straight from my call. But I have much more in-depth notes to go over and share with you all a little bit at a time. But I thought I would take this about 10 minutes and go over the things that I learned. Now, if you are wondering how to use broadcast channels, the good news is you can go back in past episodes of podcasts for the last couple weeks. And we have been talking about broadcast channels and how to use them inside your travel business. Like I said, Threads, that's going to be coming up. I'm going to be working on it both in subscribers and here on the podcast. I've got to just put my nose to the grindstone and create some strategies. So I would love to hear what you think about this call with Meta and things that you learned. So jump on over into my DMs on Instagram and let's talk about it. And I will see you all next week for the regularly scheduled podcast. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm so glad you were here. Make sure you're following along on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and pretty much anywhere else. You can find me at Kelly Hayes Smith everywhere there's social. And make sure you leave us a review. That's one way that we get to bring you more content each week. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday for an all-new episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast.